Misery loves company. This is a quote from Elizabeth and Aaron poet Christopher Marlowe. Poetry. Poetry has always been something that has stuck with me since childhood. Growing up, I realized that many people aren't too familiar with the art of poetry. So today, I'm here to inform you on poetry during the Elizabethan era, in particular, a poet named Christopher Marlowe. Christopher Marlowe was born in February 1564 in Canterbury, United Kingdom. His exact birth date was not recorded due to the 16th century's files being kind of messed up. According to poetryfoundation.org, Marlowe received his education at Corpus Christi College, where he would graduate with a Bachelor of Arts in 1584. Amidst some controversy, due to Marlowe's constant disappearance from the university, he was not able to receive his master's till almost 5 years later from the University of Cambridge. Marlowe was a well-regarded student by many of his peers, even being called a scholar by some of those peers. After finishing his education, Marlowe packed up his stuff and moved to London to pursue a career in theatrical writing and poetry. Marlowe didn't achieve much theatrical success in London due to his constant run-ins with the law. According to BritaCanada.com, Marlowe was constantly involved with authorities, having gone to prison on many separate occasions. Clifford Leach, a writer of Britannica, wrote that Marlowe was seen by the public eye as an atheist. This was seen as very sadistic, since the Elizabethan era was heavily influenced by religion. However, this did not stop Marlowe from continuing his writing. Marlowe wrote many of his most regarded plays and poems during his time in London, such as The Tragical History of Dr. Faustus and his epic poem Hero and Leander. The first drama to be performed of Marlowe's was by the children of the chapel between the years of 1587 to 1593. This was notably the years that Marlowe wrote in London. This was the case of many of his plays performed. They were written before he even received London. Before the age of 30, Marlowe was arrested in early May 1593. No exact reason was given, but it was believed that it was because of his supposed atheism, as atheism was seen as an enemy of God and an enemy of the state. Less than 20 years later, Marlowe was tragically stabbed to death after an altercation with a man by the name of Ingram Fraser. Marlowe was only 29 years old and only had the chance to write for 6 years in London. Although there was only little known about Christopher Marlowe, many poets and playwrights of the era believe that Marlowe was murdered before he truly reached his peak in playwriting and poetry. Marlowe had many works that proved to still be read and quoted throughout history. Marlowe was admired in the literary world and had an influence on many other artists in this era. Perhaps most notably of these inspired artists was William Shakespeare. Shakespeare was believed to be heavily influenced by Marlowe's teachings. Shakespeare even quoted Marlowe's lines in many of his own literary works. The most popular example of Shakespeare quoting one of Marlowe's literary works is in Shakespeare's pastoral comedy, As You Like It. Although there are many other examples of Shakespeare quoting Marlowe, this is perhaps the most important. According to poets.org, Marlowe was considered by many to have established blank verse as the preferred meter for the Elizabethan and Jacobean writing. In conclusion, Christopher Marlowe was a well-admired poet during the tragical Elizabethan era, who influenced many other artists of that era. I hope that through my speech you were able to get informed on the life of Christopher Marlowe and why he is considered a great poet throughout history. To conclude my speech, I will leave you with a quote from Marlowe that is important for his style of writing. Goodness is beauty in the best estate. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my speech.